Hi everyone, so this is just a quick overview of the GReddy Profec OLED boost controller, kind of just going through the menus a little bit and specifically showing off the display modes, the three different patterns as they call it. There's a few videos with them on, but kind of not a comprehensive look at what each one does, so I thought I'd run through those. So basically there's kind of three modes with this controller. There's off, boost low and boost high, which is kind of all self-explanatory. Off is pretty much concerned with just monitoring the boost, so it'll just show the boost, that's what's happening at the moment. And then boost low and boost high, obviously you can have two different settings for boost settings, you know, compare and contrast them, tweak different things, or just change between the two depending on, you know, two different types of fuel or however you want to do it. And because there's those kind of three modes, when it's off it's got its own set of menus, and when it's on, either in boost low or boost high, it's got another set of menus. So obviously boost low and boost high have menus with peak and gain and limits and all that sort of jazz in there, and that's kind of obviously to set up your boost controller. Off, the menus that are when it's on off are kind of more overall menus, so like your brightness and your units and all that sort of stuff, and most importantly your pattern, which is your display. So at the moment we're in digit mode, which is kind of self-explanatory, and I don't think I have to drive down the road and show you what happens because it's kind of obvious. So there you go. It has got last turned on, which flashes up your kind of last peak boost, which is kind of a cool feature, and you can turn that on and off again in the menus. So that's digit, very simple. You can also have bar. Bar keeps the digit in the bottom left hand corner, it's just a little bit less obvious, and then it has a bar graph kind of thing that transitions between vacuum at the moment, and then you've got that sort of little arrow which points where you transition from vacuum to boost. Don't quote me on it, but I think I should have looked at the manual. I think the right hand edge of that bar is based upon the setting, the limit setting in either boost low or boost high. So for example, the wastegate pressure on this, it'll do about 13 and a bit psi, but I know that my boost low is set at, my boost low limit is set at 16 psi. So that's why you might see now as we pull off it, I'll never hit the top of that graph because there's just that kind of difference between what the wastegate will do and what the boost controller will do. So I'll show you what that looks like. Again, it's kind of self-explanatory, but it's quite a cool thing. So. And again, you can see the last flashing in the bottom left there. So that's bar, like I say, kind of similar to digit really, but with this fancy little bar graph, and it's kind of I would say that digit is the easiest to just kind of be able to glance at. But bar's not too bad as well. You can kind of get an idea from how the bar graph is flitting backwards and forwards as to obviously how much you're in boost, especially where it widens out into that. I don't think there's a setting for where it widens out, but you know that the limit is, like I say, as far as I'm aware, is what's set in your boost settings. So the final one is graph, and graph is very cool, very useful for setting up your boost controller, kind of to see whether, I think to see the best thing it's for is to see whether you're having boost spikes or anything like that. But you can see it will draw a real-time boost graph for you, and every time you let off the throttle, when you get back on it, it'll draw a new graph. So that's kind of interesting to see, you know, through the gears you can see what it'll do on each pull. But it also means that if you're transitioning kind of on and off throttle a little bit, but not actually coming out of boost, it will actually show you that as well. Like I say, that's been really useful when you're looking at kind of, you know, tweaking your peak levels and your gain and that kind of thing to make sure you're hitting a good boost, maintaining a good boost, and it's not falling off or it's not creeping up. You know, that I would say that the graph is really good for configuring your boost controller, and then just slap it in digit mode or bar mode and enjoy. So that's the GReddy Profec OLED boost controller anyway. I hope that's helpful.